It's fair time on the farm, and getting back from the fair, we had to process some different things. But just prior to the fair, we had some great success with a garage sale find. This little, I don't know, lamp stand, I guess you can call it an end table, was in pretty bad shape at a garage sale. Picked it up for just a few bucks. The bottom is weak on it and it's tippy. Nothing a few screws and a little glue can't fix. The finish on it is 80's oak with, veneer type oak all over it. So my daughter here decided that this was going to turn into a decorative 4-H project. So the first thing she had to do is strip off the old varnish. So we gave her some varnish remover and had her go at it. Now, her whole idea with this was to turn this into something that would look really cool as a gift for somebody, especially somebody who likes hunting. So she's really working towards a Christmas gift, and in the meantime, it's going to go to the fair. Now, unbeknownst to us, we didn't realize how well it would do at the fair, so it's actually going to go to our state fair too, before it gets given as a gift. But she really had to work to get the varnish off this thing. And then when she got the varnish off, we really spent some time just looking at the top and figuring out which way it should go and how she wanted to lay it out. And she did some drawing. I wouldn't say it's completely, made up by her, because she looked at a picture. She's referencing a picture and she's drawing it onto the table. This is the picture she's referencing. I blew it up from the internet, and then she's working with it the best she can to kind of make this, a decorative deer head. Now, this table that she's taking it off of was like a bar table, and it had slabs of oak on it, beautifully stained. And then they carved in the deer and the season opener on it, and then they blackened it all, except for where they had carved, around kind of the antler areas. So it's really cool. We determined we don't have that ability, so she has to reverse the whole entire thing, so to speak. We decided that it'd be better for her to make the table darker because of all the damage and stuff to it over time, and then let the deer pop out. So for us, that was a little bit of a challenge. Anna and I studied it quite a bit to figure out how we were going to do it. And what we came up with, because it's a veneer table, is that we were going to go down into that next layer. And this is kind of where we started. So she's got a drawing, and as you can see, she's very lightly dremeling just to make enough of an imprint so that we can work with it. And then once we had that in place, we decided we need to stain this dark. And she said, no, I don't want to stain it. I want to burn it. And I said, okay, I'm game. So here we go. We're just, torching the heck out of this thing. We're going to bring that petiki out, so to speak. We're going to bring out that dark color. Now you can see where the seams are when you do this, of where they, put the seams together of the different pieces of the veneer on a table like this. But you know what? That's going to be what it is. That's going to be, when you char it like this, kind of aesthetically pleasing by the time you get done. So we kind of like the way it went. Right now, she's just taking her time and burning the legs. And again, she's going to go pretty dark. This is kind of burn number one. She went over it and charred it, and then came back over it and charred it. And I think it really turned out well. By charring it like this, you actually make it preserved. But she still wanted it shiny, so, we decided that we were going to put a top coat on it anyways. But you can see she's just working her way around on it. Finer edges and corners get a little darker, but that's okay. She's doing a good job here. She's using a nap gas, which is a kind of a high-end propane gas, and she's got kind of a bent tip on it for kind of flattening out that flame and doing just what she's doing, which is putting a finished burn on this. I think it really looks cool, folks. I mean, I can't stress enough how, a piece of junk at a garage sale can turn into something so nice. And again, I'm not against the 80's finish, but it had served its purpose. It was worn out. So here she's trying to go across the top and get it done, and it's not easy to do. She's just trying to get that right coloring and get that perfect burn. I would say the stripping took her probably about 2 hours. I would say there was some finish sanding there after that. It probably took her about 2 hours. The burning probably took her at least an hour to do. So by the time we get to this point, she's got 5 hours into this thing. And that doesn't include, the time it took us to find a picture she liked, get it blown up, enough that she could look at the detail, and then the 2 hours of carving time in it. So really, this thing at this point has probably got 7 to 8 hours in it for a 4-H project. That's probably a little bit on the excessive side, but you know what? Congrats to her. So then back out came the Dremel. And what she's doing here is she's just kind of following her artwork, and now she's really digging into that oak. She's pushing it right to the bottom of that veneer and the top of that table so that she can kind of make it pop. And this took time. This took another 3 hours to get done. And then at that point, we brought out the urethane. And in this case, we decided we were going to spray it. There's so many corners and angles, and the top needed to lay nicely. So getting her just to put a nice finish coat on and get several of them on took a little bit of work. I was right there with her, kind of teaching her how to spray it and leave it. And in between each coat, she had to steel wool, and that's what she's doing here. She's bringing out that steel wool, and she's lightly buffing it. Now, we started with like a 0, and we ended up with like a 000, or however they say that, aught and a triple aught. And on the face where she did her carving, we were real gentle, not really to go over that, but get close to it and just smooth that out. Then we took the air compressor, blew it off, took a tack cloth and cleaned it, and back to the varnish again. So, and this is just a Menards, what is it called? Hellman's spray, and it's a urethane base, so it should be really good for whoever gets it. So this is just prior to the fair. I mean, we literally finished this on a Tuesday, and it went to fair on Wednesday, and she's really proud of it. I mean, this is going to be a nice gift for somebody. I understand that it was bought at a garage sale, but the time and love, she's probably got 15 hours into this thing, and it looks freaking cool. And then here's the finished project, the fair. So it got a grand champion, and of course, that's a blue. So she took home a blue ribbon. It got placed to grand champion. And thanks to our 4-H extension agent, she's got the trip. So she'll be in the Minnesota State Fair with this. And then after that, we'll probably package this up and give it as a wonderful gift. Folks, what a fun project this has been, recycling this piece of furniture and turning it into special things. So I appreciate you guys liking and subscribing. It was really fun to do this project. Follow us as we do projects like this in the future.